So I just brought this in here. I'm really doing thyroid gland, but I just brought it in there. Then this specimen was eluding me. I wanted to show it, and I couldn't find it, and lo and behold, I went for the tongues. And when I was packing up the tongues last exam, I accidentally put this to the tongues. Okay, but what it is quite a good dissection of what? The cavernous sinus. So there you see, this is this triangular area that is dissected out right here. Is this triangular area is what? The cavernous sinus. I'll turn it around. That triangular area, see it in you? That triangular area is what? The cavernous sinus. You can see it there. That triangular area right here, that triangular area is the, so we've entered into this space, and that space is known as what? The cavernous sinus. And this is a massive what? Internal carotid artery right here in the cavernous sinus.
It's like a worm.
Yeah, it's a big hose right in there. Okay, big fellow right in there. That's the internal carotid artery right here in the cavernous sinus. This, for interest's sake here, you don't need to know, that's more in the realm of neuro, but that is the internal carotid artery when it is going through what? Bone. So it tunnels through, the internal carotid artery is going to tunnel through bone. Okay? Alright, that's the petrous part of the internal carotid. You might as well know it from now, because you're going to need to know it again and again and again and again and again. Where does the internal carotid artery begin and where does it end? Where does it begin and where does it end? So in between the superior horn of the thyroid cartilage and the hyoid bone, which is the same as saying between C3 and C4. Where does it end?
Anterior perforated.
300 marks. Anterior perforated substance, where terminally divides into the middle and the anterior cerebral. Okay. Now, in terms of this term's work, this boy right here gives an arterial blood supply to something we need to know about. Rosie, the internal carotid has how many parts? 4. Cervical, petrous, cavernous, cerebral. In the neck, that part is called the cervical, goes through the petrous temporal bone, the petrous, does a snake-like bend in the what? In the cavernous sinus, which we can see here. It's going like that, and it's bending back like that, coming forward like that, and then bending back again like that. It's called a carotid siphon. To what? To cut the pressure down. And then now he's going to emerge right here, lateral to the optic chiasma. He emerges there, lateral to the optic chiasma. Now, while that internal carotid artery is in the cavernous sinus, he gives off an important branch. And what's the name of that branch? Rosie, or Petra, what's the name of that branch? Petra, what's the name of that branch? What's the name of that branch? Astrid, what's the name of that big tall gentleman behind you? Look behind you and you say tall gentleman. What's his name? Matthew. The cavernous part of the internal carotid does what? The what? No, not the superior hypophyseal, but what? The inferior hypophyseal artery. The inferior hypophyseal artery. Which is going to supply what? Which supplies the pars nervosa. Alright. Now this is quite interesting. As I look around here, I see this dissection. Okay. Alright. Okay, now a friend of mine did this dissection right here. Very interesting. Looking at what? The whole, just I see the lacrimal apparatus. I think his initials are TL. I think he was an ophthalmology fellow. And he was in my office doing that one years ago. What is this? The internal carotid artery that gives rise to what? The inferior hypophyseal. An inferior hypophyseal artery supplies what? The pars nervosa. Supplies what? The pars nervosa. Pars distalis is getting its blood supply from where, Rosie? from the portohypophyseal system. Right? Portohypo. You know that? So why are you looking like you're so blank? You look very what? Blank. All right. Now, what is a pointer in right here now? And the question is to a lady by the name of, let me ask Rudy. But look what I have it in right here. Look there, look. See it very clearly right here? What's the pointer in right here? Yes, right there. We're just having fun. What's the pointer in? I would think this is a lovely thing to ask in any exam. Comes many times.
Turn it this way.
What is that? Forms the immediate superior relation of the pituitary. Look above you. What roofs the pituitary gland? Diaphragma celli. What's the name of the structure? The diaphragma celli. Let me see that picture. Let me see if these pictures are good. Let me see Shakira.
Yes.
Oh, okay, very good. So posteriorly this is the what? I mean, sorry, superiorly this is the diaphragma celli. It's formed really by dura mater. Okay. Now, let me see how hot we are now. No, we're just having a little fun and just relaxing. Not troubling anybody. No. The bone immediately anterior to the tip of the pointer. What is that bone immediately anterior to the tip of the pointer? Sorry there, the bone anterior, directly anterior to the tip of the pointer. The bone directly anterior to the tip of the pointer. Astrid, go for it. 300 marks. Dorsum celli. The what? The dorsum celli. What is the dorsum celli? The back of the chair. Sorry. Dorsum celli is the back of the chair.